big thank you for your time and the privilege to you're giving us to interview you today. Can we please know you? What's your name and what do you do?
Oh, geez. My name is, thanks, anyway, first let me say thank you for coming. Thank you for actually affording me the opportunity to talk to you guys. I hope that whatever I say today could, be something that somebody else could read for or benefit from. That would be fine with me. But my name is Etum Samuel Ekong. So, but most people call me Sam. That's what I go by. But essentially, that's my name.
Okay, what do you do?
I am an engineer by profession, and still work as an engineer. I've been an engineer for about 30 years, but right now I'm also an author. So I'm writing books. So.
Okay, awesome. So can you tell us how you got to where you are today? How did you get there? The journey so far?
Well, it will depend on where you want me to start. I have a very long story to tell, but unless you want me to cut it short, from Nigeria, like I was telling somebody just recently, somebody asked me the same question. One of the beautiful things about my background coming from Nigeria is that as a boy, I had my parents. I lived with my parents, and I grew up with my parents. As a matter of fact, I lived with my parents until I was in my 20s before I came in, my early 20s, 21, before I came into this country. And being that I stayed with my parents, I had that opportunity to actually be molded and defined what I wanted to do, and I've always wanted to be an engineer. So when I got into my early 20s, I started looking to go into college, and that opportunity came. I got a government scholarship and decided to come to US to study engineering. So that was how I got to come here.
Oh, awesome. Can you please tell us when you decide to take the leap, like to follow your dream and your passion, your interest? When did you decide to follow your dream?
Okay, well, my first dream in life was to be an engineer. So yeah. I obviously being a child at that time, you didn't have the same opportunity that kids have these days. At that time, you see little things like cars. I was fascinated with cars. I was fascinated with locomotives, and I keep wondering how do these things work. Essentially, that's when I developed the interest in being an engineer, and that was my first dream. To be an engineer. And when that opportunity came, I left the country and I came here. Went to university and studied engineering. Got my bachelor's and got my master's, and I've been an engineer ever since. But during that process too, I started thinking about writing. In order to be a better engineer, I thought it would be nice to publish papers. So I started writing, presenting papers, just so I could be this good engineer. And ultimately, that led to my second passion, which is writing. So, and finally, after publishing several technical papers, I decided, well, you know what, maybe it's time to write a book. So I tried my hand in writing, and wrote my first book, which was published. It wasn't the greatest, but that was my first try. So now I'm almost getting my second book out. So over the years, I've come to develop so much interest in politics, especially in this country, and also in in Nigeria. So I follow politics so much that I finally decided after a while, instead of arguing with my TV or arguing with my radio over issues, I finally decided that I'm going to go into politics as well. So about 3 years ago, I decided to run for office in the city of Northville, and I didn't know how it will turn out, but I decided that I wanted to sit in the council. So I ran for the office, and as it turned out, I won the seat. So I became a councilman for the city of Northville.
Yeah, we are so proud of you. Everybody is really, really proud of you. So we understand that you are now a councilman.
Yes.
How does it really feel like leaving the corporate office and going into politics? How does it really feel like? Is there any challenges? How did you go about it?
Well, public service is something that a lot of people don't want to do because there's so much cynicism with politics. Because the problem is politicians they tell you one thing and they do something else, which is sad. But it's not, all politicians are not that way. I mean, for me, being a politician in the city of Northville, it's maybe not as hard as some other city, because we have a very beautiful city, but that is thriving. I mean, for instance, our city was actually we have probably in the state of Michigan, we have the largest concentration of educated folks in one community. And so we have a whole lot of things going for us. But it could be challenging in a lot of ways, because when you deal with the public, trying to please so many people, trying to solve problems for a diverse community where half the population wants you to do something one way and the other half wants you to do it the other way, could be very tricky. And sometimes you have to find that balance. And that could be really difficult, trying to find that balance sometimes, because you don't want to, you're not going to please everybody. You just want to do what is right, what you think should be done. As long as you can please majority of the folks, you're doing something nice.
Okay. So this is typically two different things entirely. You were once working with GM,
yes,
as an engineer, and now you're a politician. Can you tell us which one do you prefer?
I think politics and engineering are two different things.
And which one is the best?
Well, public service, you want to help people. Engineering, you also want to help people, but the only difference is with public service, you deal with people. People are your product.
Right.
People are your product. Your neighbors are your product. The things that you do, what you sell as people. But with engineering, you don't necessarily, a lot of the things you design or build, you build for people, but you don't really deal with the people directly. You build a car, they sell it to somebody. Whether or not you touch that car, don't touch that car, you're not really directly in contact with the people. But a public service, a city council, you sit in this council hall, you see people come in because they have a problem that needs to be solved, and they look forward to you to solve it. You have to. So that's the difference. And I think it depends on you. It depends on what you prefer to do. I think I encourage young people to go into public service, to be honest with you, because our country, the world as a whole, Nigeria, America, things are going wrong. Things are not going right.
Right.
Period. And the generation is changing, technology is changing, the way we think, the way we do things, and we have to, as a people, we have to really start looking at ways to to revamp the way government do things as well. And we, you know, for me, in my time is running out, so the young people needs to come up.
Yeah.
So because they are the techies, they know how to move those keyboards, and they should be able to do a whole lot of things for the next generation. So you know, it depends. It depends on what you like to go. I wouldn't say one is better than the other, but okay. I would encourage young people, if you want to do both, fine, like I did. Go into one, and then when you're tired of it, you do the other.
When I grow up, I would like to do both. Also, Mr. Sam, do you really follow Nigerian politics?
I do follow Nigerian politics because a lot, because it is my country, and even though I'm here, I still believe that someday that I would go back to Nigeria and retire. And truth be told, I would like to do a whole lot of things in Nigeria if I have that opportunity. I know sometimes they say you do have that opportunity, but it's not so. I mean, when I've been to Nigeria several times trying to do some things, but I realized that in order for you to be able to do some certain things in Nigeria today, you have to be independent, self-sufficient to go ahead, because, you know, you go there, you know, people are not, a lot of people will not deal with you. They'll deal with you for a short time, and that's it.
Right.
So, but I do, and I would like to do more for Nigeria. I think we can make that country great together. And the sad part about Nigerian politics, unlike countries like India, Pakistan, Mexico, we Nigerians, even here in this country, we're not getting together as a group to see what we can do to help the country. And that has been one big problem with the way I see us here. We're so fragmented.
Do you think there's any obstacle, like anything that's anything you can point out, you know, that is the cause of this? Well,
I could tell you one thing. The problem that we as Nigerians have is that we are very clannish, and we are very tribalistic. It has always been in our nature.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, it has always been a nature. You're a Yoruba person, you're an Igbo person. So we so identify with that little clan, which is sad, because that is the European mentality that we grew up with. But things are changing, technology is changing, whereby people could travel, people could mix together. But it's a shame that you have so many Nigerians in this country who are educated, but who don't really, you still see them, they identify themselves, I'm an Igbo guy.
I don't want to mingle with a Yoruba man.
Yeah, is this Yoruba guy? You know, so everybody has their own little party, their own group, they don't mix together. And that's a shame. Even when we try to set up a Nigerian union, I mean, everybody goes there, it's always a struggle. Oh, why is this person the leader? Why he's an Igbo guy? Why is this Yoruba guy a leader? Why I'm a doctor? You are a master's. You know, I mean, all of those things. It really doesn't help us, and it's what we grew up with, and it's sad. I'm just hoping that the young ones, and true, I'm beginning to see the young ones are changing, because I had a meeting here with some young Nigerians who are getting politically involved in the city of Inkster. They came here. Wow. They wanted some advice from me, and I talked to them. These are young Nigerians who are actually beginning to get together, to work as a unit, to do things, you know. I just hope we can, because people in my age group, I think we've lost it. You know, that's the biggest problem. We don't get together.
Yeah, we all know that. So, Mr. Sam, do you have any plan to run for any political post in Nigeria?
You know, I've thought about that. I really...
And what could it be? Senate, rep? governor, president.
I thought about that, but I figured that if I can go to Nigeria and start something, you know, there was a time I really thought that I can go to Nigeria and start a revolution. I called it a revolution, but I was going to call it an industrial revolution.
Okay.
Okay, because I know politicians in Nigeria now. All they do is they become a big man. They get the money. They spend the money. They steal whatever they do. A lot of them really do not think about the masses. Okay, I think if I go to Nigeria, and that's my biggest problem, is I would like to be self-sufficient. That means if I go to Nigeria, I would have something. I would want to have something to offer the country, like all changing business where people can bring their car, whether it's broke down or whether it's stopped, they can come in and change their oil. At least educate people. For something, why you need a car, how to maintain your car. Because one big problem I see in Nigeria is the thing like maintenance is not in our book. Okay, it's not in our dictionary. I mean, your window falls apart, you cover it, and a lot of that also has to do with planning. Because if you have plans, if you have a process that you have to do things in Nigeria, then all of those things could be fixed. If your window is broke, you can go to a store and buy another one and put in. But since the houses are not designed the same, the windows are not, so it's really hard to do. But that's the thing. I don't know if I want to run for office in Nigeria. If I'm lucky, if I'm there, yes, I probably, if somebody calls me and says I'm run, I probably will. But I think I would like to go offer services to people, and it's not about making money. It's about offering service that people, because Nigerians get shoddy service and they pay a lot for it, not because they can't get a better service, but they get shoddy service, but they pay for it, and we can give them good service without having to make them pay for it. I know something might say that's my opinion, but it is true.
Yeah, you're entitled.
It is true. I mean, I see how much people pay for little services, but they don't get it. I mean, I remember going to the bank and somebody's telling me, in order for me to open an account, I have to give some bribe, which is wrong. To me, that's wrong, because I'm giving you my money to do business. Bank, you're supposed to do business with my money, make money with it. So why should I give you money to give you money to make money? That's double. But see, Nigerians don't see that as a problem, because that's the way of doing business. But which is really not providing services. I mean, service business. When you are in service business, you're providing service to somebody, so you can, that person, your customized person, is the king.
Sure.
You have to please that person, even if you have to beg them to do something, to come to you. You have to beg them, but we're not. That's not the way we provide service. And I figured if I can do something like that, maybe I can change a few minds, at least before I die.
Okay, awesome. I know we all believe in God.
Yes.
And we are all very religious. Nigerians are very religious.
Oh, Jesus, more than any country in the world.
Is there one person you could point out that gave you the inspiration to go into politics, apart from God?
Well, apart from God, like Nkrumah, we have Africans like Mandela. These are people that have inspired me. Because these are people who actually do think about the people. They offer public service. That's what they do, and they inspire me. Because I think we could change things, the world could change, we could make the world better, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. I mean, the world is getting so greedy. Not just America, even Nigeria. I mean, everybody wants to get, nobody wants to give. I mean, we talk about war. I mean, war. Nobody wants to talk peace. So those are the people. I could say those are my inspiration because I read about them. I mean, I don't believe in violence. Okay, I don't. I mean, it's not about religion. It's about human being. Human being. If you're in tune with human being, then you can get a whole lot of things done, and your life will be even better.
MJ, has it been so far? You know, being a black man, a Nigerian for that matter, you know, to be in the city of Northville as a councilman.
Well, I tell you one thing. Being a black man, period.
As a Nigerian.
Being a black man, period, it's a challenge in the world, not just America, but it just so happened that in America it's even more so because of the fact that you are in a country that is predominantly white, and with the change in demography, where the country itself, America, is beginning to, it's projected that America in the year 2025, it's going to be pretty much more colored. So it's not going to be straight Caucasian. And the white people in this country they still want to hold on to power. So they're just grappling. So it is very difficult. And it becomes doubly difficult if you're an African. You know, I mean, I worked in GM. Where I was an IT manager. I had about 52 people working for me. I mean, I know people who come to me, secretly come and tell me, you know what, go back to your country.
Wow.
Go back to Africa. You know, obviously the assumption is that being an African, I mean, being black, you're dumb, and then being an African, you're twice dumb. Okay,
that's ridiculous.
Which is sad, but they see that. So it is difficult. It is difficult for me, but you have to be strong. You know, you have to stand your ground. Okay, you don't let somebody intimidate you. And frankly, look at it. Look at it from this context too. Ever since this country had the first black president, I mean, you could see that racism that has always been suppressed.
It's like a breakthrough.
It's there. I mean, it's there. I mean, you see the way they treat the president, and the only reason he gets treated is because he's black. So you can imagine me, a small black man, in a city that is 98% white.
Wow.
You know, I mean, you get the flack, but you just have to be, you know, people talk, you know, they talk to you, they say nice things to you, but you just have to keep smiling and keep moving. You ignore them, because once you start arguing and fighting, the blame comes back on you. Oh yeah, you know, that's how black people are. But I say the best way to deal with a fool is what? I say the best way to deal with a fool is silence. So
yeah,
you just ignore them. If they say things to you, hey, I'll see you too. It was nice meeting you. I love you, and you move on. And that's a classic way to just avoid trouble.
So when you were running for this post, was there a particular point in time you were doubting yourself, like, oh, what have I gotten myself into? Is this going to be fruitful? Is it going to work out? Are they going to vote for me? Knowing that I'm a Nigerian, I'm a black man, are people going to listen to me? You know, do you ask yourself this question?
Well, yes, I did. To be honest with you, I did. And as a black person in this country, you will. Every time you turn around, you ask yourself. You doubt yourself all the time. Could I do a job? And it's the same thing. Even a lot of Nigerians here, we are, as a people, we are the most educated people in Africa, even in this country. When you talk about foreigners who live in this country, Nigeria, when you talk about education, Nigerians are the most educated foreigners in this country. Statistically, it is a fact. It's not, I'm just saying this because I'm a Nigerian. We are the most educated foreigners in this country.
Wow.
Okay. But you don't see a lot of our people doing things or getting involved in because they doubt themselves. Okay. I mean, you see, like you go to Atlanta, you see a PhD person driving taxi. Okay. And then you wonder why. I mean, why did you go through all this pain to go get that education, and then you
end up being a taxi man,
a taxi driver, and a lot of that is their self-doubt. They don't want to. It's not that they're afraid. If you go for a job interview in this country, believe me, you send an application out, there's going to be 1,000 people applying for that one job. Okay. You have that fear. Are they going to listen to me? Or when you walk into an interview room, you say, geez, an accent. They hear you talk, they say, oh, where are you from? That's the first thing they ask, where are you from? So I'm a Nigerian, okay? That, for one, you become afraid. Oh yeah, well, now they think they know I'm a Nigerian because they hear your accent. If they tell you have an accent, and you have everybody has an accent.
Yeah, sure.
I listen to you, you have an accent to me. But you have to stand, you have to be proud, who you are. They're going to turn you down. Somebody turn you down, you go somewhere else, they turn you down. I mean, I've gone to places, they tell me, oh, you're overqualified. And I'm thinking, okay, you're not giving me a job because I am overqualified. I mean, that's new to me. I mean, I thought, but you just have to. I mean, you just have to be strong. You just have to go. These things are going to happen. They're there. You just have to keep going. If you give up, then you're going to lose big time. Believe me, you will.
Do you want to share any strategy, any of the strategy you use in tackling this negativity,
Well, one of the things that I would say, especially to our young people, which I think they're doing well, they're beginning to do, is you need to cultivate relationship with everybody around you, okay? You have to start, because in order to understand somebody, you cannot stay away from somebody. If you want to know how somebody is, what their life is, you have to be friends with them. You have to live with them. You have to talk to them. If you isolate yourself, if you don't cross boundary to talk to a white person or an Asian person, a Puerto Rican person, then you're going to be isolated. You want to be able to go out. You want to be friends. You want to go out. You want to take chances. You want to deal with people. You want to join clubs. Football club. You want to expand your scope. If you do that, believe me, you will get to understand people more. You would see that people do not really, not everybody would dislike you because you're an African. As a matter of fact, there are people who are intrigued by you being an African. Or your accent. Some will like your accent. Some are intrigued because you're an African and you're so educated. You're smarter than they are. So, but you won't know that until you talk to people. You join clubs. I'm in so many clubs. Democratic. Michigan Democratic Club. I talk to people, or I go to meetings here. I'm in different boards. You have to do these things. If you don't, then you're going to be left out. So my thing, to young people, please try to get into all of these things. Take chances, join clubs, mingle with people. Don't just hang with your own kind. I mean, the world is wide. You have to be able to meet people and interact with people, understand people, their language, their topic, what they like, eat their meal. bring them to your place, invite them over, feed them with your meal. I mean, people, then you could feel more comfortable with yourself, so that when you go out for a job interview, you're not going to be afraid because somebody's going to see you as being black or African. I mean, everybody, so that gives you that blanket where you feel like everybody's seeing you as an African, and you're an African, so I'm a smart guy, I can be a smart guy. So that would be my advice to the young folks.
All right, thank you so much. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years.
That takes a deep breath, right?
5 years. 5 years, I would like to, in 5 years, to be honest with you, I hope to be doing some things in Nigeria. In 5 years, I also want to be able to publish at least 2 or 3 books in 5 years. And I also, if I'm in this country in 5 years, I want to run for another office, not a local office. I would like to either run for a state seat or a federal government or Senate or House seat, depending on which one comes open. But only time will tell. But those are my goals. Those are my 5-year goals. I want to write more books. I want to be in Nigeria, and I want to run for a different office, whichever one comes. So I take it one day at a time. But
okay. May God help you.
God help me, yes.
So, if there's anything you would like to change in your past, your journey so far, it's been a while. Yeah. Your journey so far. If you look back and think about everything, the people you've met so far, your job, your career, everything, what exactly do you think you would love to change?
Well,
if you had any opportunity to change.
To change it.
Yeah.
Well, I've lived a very decent life, but if I have to redo what I did, if I have to change my life, really, I would have done some things a little differently from what I did, because when I came into this country, I didn't have that opportunity to know how the system works. I didn't have anybody to advise me. I didn't even my financials. I wasn't able to take care of my financials because you get caught in all of this thing about trying to credit cards and all of those little things. I didn't have that opportunity. So I made a whole lot of mistakes, just like we all make. You fall into the system and then you let the system absorb you. And then you get absorbed into the system that it's so hard to crawl out of it. I mean, you weighed down with so many debt, and you're not moving your life. If I have to redo my life, believe me, I would redo a whole lot of things like that. I would probably be a lawyer.
Really?
Add a law degree to my. I actually thought about. I wanted to go to. When I finished my engineering, I wanted to go to law school and get that as my, I wanted to be an engineer and a lawyer,
Wow.
because so I can do maybe patent law or something.
That's two different things. Like, it's so different.
Well, but see, it would have helped me a lot in some of the things that I do, like going into politics or writing books. So, but the only reason I didn't do it, to be honest with you, was when I applied for law school, I got admitted, and then I have that option either to quit my job, because I was working at that time. I had the option of quitting my job and going to law school, but if I had gone to law school full time, I would have accumulated for those 3-4 years, I would have accumulated a total of about 200,000 plus in debt.
Wow.
And believe me, I have a friend who was a lawyer, another Nigerian friend who was a doctor who had the same amount. I mean, he was weighed down. he couldn't. I mean, as a doctor, trying to pay $3,000 a month for student loan. I mean, I looked at him, my friend. I said, Dele, you know, you know. So the country is changing. So they should just, you should just do what you want to do. If that's what you want to do, get into it. I hope that I've been able to say enough, okay, to those listening to me. I hope I say plenty that they can get something from. I mean, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but you know, I just believe that you know, that you know, we all can learn. I mean, you can learn from me. I learn from people. You know, I remember when I was even teaching college, because I taught college as well in New York. I used to tell my class when I go in, first day of class, the first thing I tell my class, I say, oh, you know what, I'm your instructor, but don't let that fool you, because I'm going to learn from you. You know, this is a learning process. You know, you talk to me, you ask me a question. If I don't have the answer, I'll try to get the answer for you, but I want to learn from you too. So, you know, that this is a two-sided. So I hope the people listening from me won't, I hope they can pick up a few things from what I've said that could help them. I mean, I'll be, you know, I'll be happy if somebody could take some things from what I've said, you know, and be able to use it, because, you know, I'm not, I mean, that's all I can give. I mean,
thank you so much, Mr. Sam.
Thank you.
We are so grateful.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. You know, I mean, if I can help somebody, please let me know. Whenever you guys want me to do anything, let me know. I mean,
yeah,
you know.
we are so grateful, and we are so proud of you. Thank you for all you've said so far, and thank you for all the words of encouragement. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. We really appreciate you, and we pray that Almighty God will grant all your heart desires and move you from grace to grace.
I pray. I pray that too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.